The next time that Toronto FC and the Toronto Argonauts step out onto their home playing surface here at BMO Field, there will be something very different about the ground beneath their feet. That difference will be the hybrid field called Sisgrass, currently being installed at the stadium. I had the chance to speak with TFC and BMO Field Director of Grounds, Robert Heggie, to get the lowdown on Sisgrass. What's going on outside on the field here right now?
Well, we're kind of capping off everything we've been working towards for the past couple of years by stitching in the hybrid surface now for the next 8 days. The lead up to that was getting the more grow lights, upgrading irrigation system, heating system, and that type of thing. But the final touch is the hybrid system.
And just explain a little bit what the hybrid system is and what it's meant to do.
So we're stitching in artificial fibers every 20 mil by 20 mil spacing at an 18 centimeter deep range.
And what will the players notice when they first step out onto the field?
I'd say they'd notice the field's a little bit firmer, a little bit truer, and then when they start moving about, they're going to notice their feet when they plant it. It's planted. It's not going to move quite like it moved before.
There have been issues here with the grass and it holding together in the past. That shouldn't be an issue now?
No, because we have lots of tools here right now, but we still are just growing a 100% natural surface. At this point, we're adding 5% artificial, so we have that consistency and that predictability of something artificial.
It's a 5% plastic fiber,
yeah.
But it does make a very big difference to the way it feels. The consistency is really what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's partly. In February and December, we have trouble growing root structure just because of the low light levels, the short days, that type of thing. So it's going to help us with the surface staying together at that time of the year, and then it's going to help us in the middle of the summer when you have the Argos coming in and battering their feet down.
You do have the two teams, you mentioned the
Yep.
Argos. What's the difference, or what difference will their players and the way their game plays, what difference will they notice, and will it be basically will it be the same for both teams?
My guess would be like a wide receiver, a quarterback doesn't really notice much of a difference, but the guys that are on the defending line and the offensive line, the guys that are doing this and really planting their feet in and just trying to push that 300-pound man in front of them, I think they're going to notice that when they plant their foot, it's not moving. They're actually getting to use their muscles to push forward instead of kind of slipping.
And how long do you expect the surface to last?
We've guessed it's going to be a 10-year surface, and then we'll reassess it at that
point. An issue that players have had here in the past is the amount of sand that's been used on the field to sort of hold it together. Mm-hmm. This pitch, you won't have to use the sand anymore?
Yeah, it's basically little to no sand, because if you do use sand, once you get to a certain point, you're actually burying the 2 centimeters of fiber that's above the surface, and once you bury that fiber, you're kind of wasting your time at that point. So the idea is you keep that 18 centimeters below the surface and the 1.5, 2 centimeters above the surface.
And what's it going to be like for Champions League games in, say, February or early March? Or, obviously Toronto FC is going to want to get back to MLS Cup final and host it in November.
Not December, November.
Not December. But if you have a Grey Cup here, how will the surface react to a Canadian winter?
Well, it will be no different than the other surface, but now when we do have turf loss, we'll have that artificial substance in there that's going to hold everything together.
And what's the company that you've got coming in here, and what is it that they offer that other competitors in their market aren't offering, and what made this product attractive to you?
Well, I went with Sisgrass. That's S-I-S grass. There's two main players in the industry. There's Sisgrass and there's Deso. Basically, the biggest difference between the two products is the type of yarn that they use, the type of plastic that's made up in their yarn. One's polyethylene, one's polypropylene. I prefer the characteristics of the polyethylene because it has more of an elasticity to it. It likes to stand up and it likes to stay true. So you're not going to clog up your sand surface. The plant can decompose and the plant can grow more naturally, in my belief, than it could in the Deso system.
Where's this Sisgrass or Sis pitches? Where are they based out of?
They're based out of Holland, the Netherlands. Some of their references include 6 of the Russian World Cup. They did 6 of the pitches there. They've done Chelsea's fields. They've done Redding's fields. They've done fields all over the world. But they are a new player in the game. They're 7 years old compared to the Desso company that's about 20 years old. But since Sisgrass came out, Desso has changed their approach to how they install it and that type of thing to keep up with Sisgrass.
And this is the first of a kind here in Canada. It is being used elsewhere in North America?
Yeah, Lambeau Field has the exact same system. They got it stitched in last year. And I was talking to Alan out there, and he only had praises for it.
And how do you feel to be a bit of a pioneer bringing a hybrid surface, playing surface, to Canada for the first time?
It comes with a lot of risk because obviously it's my decision, and if things were to fail miserably, it's my fault. But I truly believe that adding that artificial element to it will give me the peace of mind in January and February and December and November. It's really all about the shoulder seasons that are so tough.
Thanks very much.
Oh, no problem.